I should tell you as well that I love my family, well, 2/3 of it, more than I love comedy. But I'll tell you what, it is hard balancing family and fame, especially Canadian fame, that just skyrockets. But I remember one time I was talking to my wife, and my wife's got a little bit of an edge. She said one day that she wanted to get a tattoo, and I was like, I don't know if a tattoo, and she asked me, well, if I got one, what should it be? And I said that it should be Timmy, my name, right across her shoulder blade. Timmy, right there. I thought that would look really hot, right? Timmy. And she looked at me and giggled, and she's like, no, because it's permanent. So, but I am an entertainer, so I could change my name, so. I remember, though, the hallmark moment of being a father actually came about 6 years ago when my 16-year-old boy, who was 10 at the time, because every year you add one, he was huddled in the bathroom just sobbing. And I remember I went up to my boy, and if you're a parent in here, you know that that's a disheartening experience. And I went up to my young boy, he was 10 years old, and I asked him what was wrong. And he proceeded to tell me that a friend had told him that there was no Santa Claus. Now listen, I don't know where you're all at in life, so I'm not here to confirm or deny. I'm just telling you what that kid said to my kid. And I remember I sat down beside my 10-year-old boy, because I didn't think it would be a problem for a 10-year-old boy. I said, I didn't know this was going to be an issue. And he looked up at me, 10 years old, and he said, Dad, I'm not so much upset that there is no Santa as I am that I've been lied to for all these years. And I don't even know what you say to something like that. So I put my arm around my boy and I pulled him close and I said, buddy, that was all your mother's idea. I wasn't taking the bullet for that one. I'd like to close off today with something special. I feel very close to you all. This setting seems to lend itself to something like this. I was going to do a big theatrical song and dance. I could have done handstands for you and other things. But I've decided if I could, just to close off, you know, there's certain things that are soothing in life. And we've gathered, this event is about mental health. And I think there's certain things that really help people deal. Sometimes it's like classical music is great. I love hearing, you know, the brass instruments. I love that. That's brass, right?
Woodwind.
I'm not a.
It's not a tuba.
I'm a comedian. I did go to school, for the record. I did go to school, but a huge difference between being enrolled and attending, quite frankly. So, but if I had gone to school, I probably wouldn't be performing in front of 7 people in Ottawa in an empty room. But anyways, the point is, poetry, I think, really helps people. And so there was one day I realized that I can do anything. And hey, listen, if I'm going overtime, you just let me know. But I wanted to share with you a poem or two that I have written because I think poetry helps. And you might be saying, oh, Timmy, you're a poet too. And it's like, well, I am now, because once you write a poem, you're a poet. That's how it goes. And so I sat down to challenge myself. And this is, I think, is a good life lesson for anybody. To always try to find something to work on that you've never done before. I believe the greatest failure in life is never trying anything. If you fail, you didn't fail, you actually succeeded. That the greatest failure is never failing, because you've never pushed yourself. And so one day, as this book was Inside Timmy's Mind, it's available over there. You can buy it for $20 today. And for the record, I make a pretty decent living doing this full time off of fees and ticket sales for events. But the book sale money goes to feed my children. So if you care about kids at all, just consider picking up one of those. It goes to my son's craft dinner little thing that we're building up. He has 2.5 weeks of craft dinner off of shows I've been doing recently. If I can get to 3 weeks, that would be awesome. So anyways, just consider that. But let me just, if I could, I challenge myself to learn poetry in one day. And I just want to end my time with you today with a couple poems that I wrote, and I hope you appreciate these. These are poems that all have to do with yellow, because I wanted to challenge myself even more. Is anybody here a poet? Okay, so no one can fact check me on any of these. Okay, fair enough, good. So this is an ode. An ode is about something that deserves honor. And so an ode goes to something, I was like, what should I write an ode about? What really deserves the place of honor? And so this ode is about my rubber duck. I don't know if you have a rubber duck, but it is awesome if you have one. This is an ode to a rubber duck by Timmy Boyle. It is more beautiful than a rainbow. It is even more precious than a rare gem, more pure than water and fresh fallen snow, more needed than legs or eyes or brainstem. It is more refreshing than a cool rain, desired more than beauty or wisdom, more powerful than a dump truck, worth more than gold and sleeker than a train, and tastier than strawberry lip balm. There is nothing compares to my old rubber duck. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. This one is a haiku about Hannah Montana's hair. Do you guys know Hannah Montana?
Yes.
Hannah Montana, she has those flowing blonde locks. What? It's just a wig? Thank you. Thank you. Some poems are shorter than others. Thank you. You're a poet. Yes, you know. Very good. This one is a gazelle. Not a gazelle. That's a fast animal. This is a gazelle. It's a poem about lemonade. Lemonade as sweet as thee. You are much better than stupid iced tea. Thank you. That is it. Appreciate that. And I will now end with two more. Hulk Hogan, when he wore yellow in the 80s. I couldn't do Hollywood Hulk Hogan because that was a black and white, but this is about yellow, so I had to do Hulk Hogan from the 80s. If you don't know who Hulk Hogan is, you can Google it. This is done by a Siho, or a Saijo, or a Sijo. I don't know how to pronounce it. Doesn't really matter. The point is that it is a poem. He comes to the ring, pointing to the crowd like he can't hear them. See the theatrics I put into my poem? In moments he is out cold, but you can't stop the Hulkster. Shaking his arm, he rises up to leg drop his stunned opponent. That is all. That is it. Everyone knows how it ends from there. I didn't need to go on. That was the end of the poem. And finally, I could read one about SpongeBob, but time is short. I could do a smiley face one. There's lots of great stuff in here. If you don't like these poems, there's 38 short stories in here that you will appreciate. This final one is one of no style that is out there. I created it myself because that's what you can do when you write poems. This one is called The Sun. Without the sun, there would be none. No, it's not done. It's not done. I appreciate that, but sometimes you just need dramatic pauses. Just stay with me. No light, no heat, no day. Where would we stay without its ray? The dark, the cold, the night. Oh no! May it not be so. No heat strokes. No sunburns. No melanoma. A dark, cold night wouldn't be that bad after all. Thank you. Thank you. I've realized in writing these poems that it's not what you say or even how you say it. It's just what you call it. Because anybody will listen to anything if it's called poetry. Proof positive here this afternoon. I will close with this. I don't like short forms on technology, nor do I like Speedos. I don't prefer to hate one over the other, but Speedos are fascinating to me. I find Speedos very interesting because Speedos were invented by the Australians. A good idea gone bad is what they were. They invented these things for Olympic swimmers to help them cut down the drag in the pool. The joke was never written that way, but there's always someone who takes it down a different route. You got to watch your phrasing. The rest of you can pick that up as you think about it. But they were invented to help swimmers, Olympic swimmers, go faster. So why is it then, folks, that of all the people who buy and wear Speedos, none of them would be confused for an Olympic athlete? Or a casual walker, for that matter. We got millions of times our children are taken to the beaches across our land, and they've had to see images like that. These larger, older, mostly hairy gentlemen wandering our beaches, scarring the minds of our innocent youth. I've taken my kids for walks along the beach, and I remember I've had to take them away, and my son be like, "What is that?" And it's like, "Son, don't look directly at it. You'll turn to stone." It's absolutely terrifying. I will simply say this. There are terrifying things in the world. There are funny things in the world. There are annoying things in the world. I try my best to find the funny in all of it. Today is a funny day for me. People ask me, "Where do you find your material, Timmy?" And all I can say is that usually within a few minutes of that conversation, I have taken down that person's name and added them into my next show. This show will live on at other shows across this nation. There is no point in going through life without laughing. It is a waste of time. So my hope, my goal in life is to provide the opportunity for as many people, regardless of age, race, gender, or even religious belief, that people can come in and laugh together. So if you're interested in what I did, if you enjoyed anything that I do, pick up a business card, support me by picking up a book. That would be amazing. I got to get home to Toronto after this, so that would be awesome. But needless to say, visit upstandingcomedy.ca, and we are providing opportunities across Ontario right now in particular for everybody to come and laugh together.